The 46th presidential election was held on November 5th, 1968. This election consisted of three parties. These parties were the Republican, Democratic, and American Independent parties. Although actor Ronald Reagan won the Republican primary election, the Republican Party ended up choosing former Vice President Richard Nixon as their presidential nominee and Maryland Governor Spiro Agnew as their vice presidential nominee. The Democratic nomination was chaotic this election cycle. LBJ originally was going to run for re-election but ended up dropping out due to the Vietnam War. This ends up causing the Democrats to have to pick someone new. Minnesota Senator Eugene McCarthy became the only Johnson opposition and was set to become the Democratic nominee. But then JFK's brother, Robert F. Kennedy, joined the race and became the favorite. On June 5, 1968, while giving a speech about his victory in the California Democratic primary, Kennedy was assassinated. It is said that if Kennedy lived, he would have won the primary. As the nomination process began, anti-Vietnam War riots took place outside the DNC. While the riots went down, Eugene McCarthy ended up winning the Democratic primary, but the Democratic Party instead chose Vice President Hubert Humphrey as their presidential nominee and Maine Senator Edmund Muskie as their vice presidential nominee. The American Independence Party chose former Alabama Governor George Wallace as their presidential nominee and former Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force Curtis LeMay as their vice presidential nominee. Nixon adopted the Southern strategy where Republicans would try to appeal to the Southern states. Wallace tried to gain more ground in Republican states by supporting civil rights. When riots broke out due to the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., Nixon adopted a law and order campaign. He also stated that he wanted to lower taxes for African Americans. Nixon stated that he would make the Supreme Court more conservative. He also supported the ending of the draft system. Humphrey wanted to expand the Great Society program started under LBJ. He was also hesitant in criticizing the Vietnam War. Humphrey requested there to be a debate, but none were held. Polls had Nixon winning the election with 41.2% of the popular vote, and Humphrey with 38.2%. In the end, Nixon won the election. He won 43.42% of the popular vote and 55.95% of the electoral vote. The polls underestimated Nixon by 2.22%. This election was polarizing due to both civil rights and the Vietnam War.